and it's going to begin with the first wearable device, the wristwatch. So the wristwatch was actually a New Year's gift to Queen Elizabeth in 1571, and it was so large that it was referred to as the arm watch. But what this was that it marked the first point when we started designing technology to be born on the body. In 1644, the Qing dynasty was the first to miniaturize the abacus, which is a calculating tool used long before our numerical written system. And what the abacus ring did was it gave the merchants and traders of the Qing dynasty a competitive advantage against other civilizations. Fast forward to the 1950s, we find one of our personal favorites, the button spy camera. And CIA agencies, CIA, British intelligence, they all created their own version of this. It would be, be worn under a trench coat. But this is the reason why when we think back to the time of Cold War spies, we always envision them wearing a trench coat. Next is 1961, was the first wearable computer. Edward Thorpe and his team had created a circuit board that's designed to be worn in the shoe to beat casinos at roulette. That's really cool. But what this was the first time a circuit board provided benefit in a clothing accessory. 1979 is where we started looking at the early days of research for modern wearable computing. So Steve Mann is arguably the pioneer of this entire sector. His early research had backpacks, helmets, and as you can see, something. But what it was this research really became the foundation of what we found later on. In 2000, the first Bluetooth headset came out, and it gave us a way to talk on our cell phones while driving. Back in the day when we actually just used to talk on our cell phones. So what I'm saying is, right now, all of this is early on.
Wearable technology is just augmenting your awareness of things without getting in the way. We explored the whole idea of wearable technology back in the early 90s, and Thad Starner was one of my students. He's the one that went on to produce Google Glass. What we found is that why should you disrupt social interactions when you could just have ambient awareness? But these things can add a little to it, right? They can annotate it, they can augment it. Really, it's a very social technology.
Anything you wear on the body as a second skin. Today, wearable technology is embedded into something, whereas long term, we really have to think about how to make the fabric itself smart. For example, think about a garment you don't have to wash. They can change the shape, their color. Fabrics that have a metallic coating or yarns that are conductive. We want to make the actual fiber smart so that through nanotechnology, we can create a textile that can sense. To me, garments are the node of a digital system. So imagine that everything we wear becomes part of a digital environment, a digital network.
I'm very excited to see the design community coming to healthcare and building better devices, better sensors, things which people would want to wear. Being able to track or sense or measure, we can start to look at actual numbers about the current state of our body. What we're particularly interested in is the intervention part. How can we then take the data that these sensors and these devices are giving us and then act upon it?
We're really interested in moving the DIY wearables movement forward. Being able to make something yourself is very empowering. So I'll make a project and a project video and tutorial every single week using conductive fabric, conductive thread, and provide you with a sample project with source code to get viewers out there able to make these things themselves. But there's also very practical things. We made a sewable GPS unit that you can put into a jacket and have your jacket either help you find your way to your destination, alert you when you're there. Also made a backpack that has LED turn signals and brake lights for your motorcycle. Without open source hardware, people wouldn't be able to freely take other people's resources and learn from them and then investigate and create their own new extensions or modifications.
I'm a very, very strong believer that garments can do more. We can do many things.
The more that we instrument our body, the more that we can know about this complex machine that we have, the better we will be.
Wearable tech from where I come from is very different. Instead of just buy, I want the thing with the newest features, you're dreaming up those features yourself and you're thinking about how you can make them a reality.
Really, the whole society is made up of humans and computers interacting with each other. That's cyborg, I'm sorry.
What is really interesting is you are now at a point where connectivity is part of your everyday life, and you're actually at the edge of a new revolution, where from the cell phone, digital technologies, together with all kinds of sensors and actuators and apps and software, are moving from your devices onto your body.
Where'd that come from?
It's nanotech. You like it?